Wagwan, everybody. This is your girl, Cherrie Garden, and we are here in the illustrious city of Atlanta, Georgia, sitting in the renowned FBstudios, home to the photographer, Fabian Butts.
Hello, y'all. How are you doing? How are you doing?
Fabian, you've had so much going on for you recently, and I know they never say an overnight celebrity, overnight celebrities always have like 10 years of experience behind them, but man, you're really exploding on the scene. You've had so much excitement going on. Tell us a little bit about some of the hot stuff going on in your life right now.
Well, thank you. It's just been a blessing. It's been a blessing. We expanded our client base. We're reaching out. We've recently shot in LA, New York, Chicago, Dallas, Orlando with different functions. So we're just traveling. There's even been a feature or two here and there. So I'm just really excited about everything that God is doing right now, honestly.
Definitely. And you mentioned featured. So recently, an episode aired from Love and Hip Hop, where you had a bunch of like little close-ups and cameos, and a scene was actually shot right here in FBstudios. How are you feeling about that right now?
I'm excited. I still get phone calls because they run reruns. So I still get phone calls from my friends and family saying, "Hey, I saw you on Love and Hip Hop." I even had strangers come and be like, "Hey, you look familiar." And I'm like, you might have seen me somewhere too. But I'm just excited. God is opening doors, Cherrie. It's like amazing right now. Everything is like just really awesome. And I'm excited. I've been blessed to work with a lot of amazing people, and I'm just excited.
Man, that's amazing. So tell us a little bit about FBstudios. What can a person expect from FBstudios?
Well, honestly, you can kind of expect a little bit of my heart because I try to put that into every shoot. My gift from God is creativity. So I specialize in doing and accomplishing the things that a lot of people only had minds and dreams of, or they thought that this would cost $100,000 to produce. But I try to come up with creative, innovative ways. So what you can expect, honestly, from FBstudios is something different. Honestly, simple, something different. Not doing the same static, still photos, a model on a psych wall or in front of a curtain. I try to incorporate themes and things of that nature to spruce it up, to give it some life. And I hope I achieve that. And I hope people love the products that we try to put out.
Definitely. I mean, everybody needs to make sure that they follow you on your Instagram. Go ahead and shout out your Instagram real quick.
It is FBstudios. So FB, then Studios, and that's us.
The photos on that Instagram are amazing, breathtaking. You had touched on the aspect of creativity, and I'm sure that's not something that just came about recently. So let's dive down a little deeper into who Fabian Butts is, and tell us about how you first started to express yourself creatively. And I'm talking about childhood.
Oh, God.
What were your first, was it Lego blocks? Was it drawing? Tell me a little bit about the young Fabian Butts.
Well, the young Fabian Butts actually, believe it or not, used to sit in his room and cry a lot because I was kind of socially awkward and I didn't know how to interact with people because I was the only child growing up. So it took me a while to catch the hang of it. And I used to sit back, and then I started getting comic books, and I would try to draw the picture and make it look like the person in the comic book. And for a long time, that did not happen. But I think pretty much around 6th or 7th grade is when I drew my first comic book character, and it actually looked just like the picture. Ever since then, I was in art classes coming up and started drawing and expressing myself through different mediums and things of that nature. And ever since then, that's what started my creative spark. And I've incorporated it through my other business ventures over the years as well. So that's pretty much started it.
So when you say different mediums, what do you mean? Acrylic, mixed media? What do you mean when you said throughout the years you started?
Mostly in the beginning, it was art. It was pens, doing a lot of ink work, a lot of color pencils. Then we started going to painting, did a lot of watercolor. But pencil and charcoal was probably my favorite overall mediums. But then as I got older, things got more technical and more digital. Then I started doing a lot of graphics, like flyers and making logos and just doing cool things graphically on the computer. So, and then from there it went to building cool things, and then from there it went to taking a lot of hopefully cool pictures of a lot of beautiful people. So.
That is amazing. So, how long has FBstudios been in existence?
Well, technically, FBstudios has been in existence for about 4 years now.
Okay.
And I've been shooting for about 3.5 years now.
I feel like I've known you to shoot even prior to 4 years ago. What were you doing prior to that?
Well, I've always been an entrepreneur.
Okay.
I was blessed to buy my first house when I was 20. I started my construction company when I was 20 as well.
Okay.
So I was a builder, and I was building and things of that nature. You know, we were blessed to do a lot of clubs and things of that nature. I was even fortunate enough to remodel the Martin Luther King Center, which is like one of my, most honored things doing construction-wise. So I've always been busy and needing business cards and things of that nature. So I've always been doing something.
Now, did you have FBstudios when you were doing your construction business as well?
Well, actually, I still do my construction company now. It's still in full blast, full go. But we have allocated a lot of time for the studio, and we have a team in place. So right now, we're actually running both businesses. So I'm very busy between that and traveling. It's very busy.
Awesome, awesome. So when you first started FBstudios, you said that you weren't even doing photography initially, like yourself. You just kind of, what did it start out as?
Well, actually, I got a project. They flew me and a partner of mine out to LA to build out like this huge, like 7,000 square foot studio. Mm-hmm. So we're doing a complete build out, but the guy was like, yeah, we were talking, we was going over ideas and brainstorming. He was like, this is a set, this is a set, this area's a set. Every look in every area you went was a different set that could be shot on. Mm-hmm. So when I said to myself, if I ever find another location or another loft or a building, warehouse, that I would make it a cool studio. So long story short, I found a space, and that's how it was born. That was even before I started shooting.
Nice, nice. So tell us a little bit about your construction company, because we were talking about the creative aspect here, and then you went into construction. Was that part of your expression of creativity, do you feel?
I definitely feel so, and it was a vent. It's just like releasing pressure. Mm-hmm. Construction allowed me to release so much pressure depending on the project, but with the photography, it was more open vent, so I could release even more pressure. But yeah, we've built like custom beds and 26-foot custom-built waterfalls, and remodeled a lot of clubs, features, like levitating beds that float, and we've been doing a lot of creative things, but that's not every project. But the fortunate thing is with photography, it's a faster release. I can really vent my creativity that way, which I'm really proud of.
I see.
Most definitely.
When you say you did features, are you referring to feature-length film sets as well?
Yes, we have. We've built out sets for a lot of different shows and people and things of that nature over the years, definitely.
That's exciting.
It is. You get to see certain people and work with certain people, so I'm excited for what all we've been able to do.
Right. What inspired you to transition from construction, that hard, heavy, hard knocks construction, into, one could say, the delicate art of photography?
Well, honestly, you know how they say, do the thing that you like to do and you'll never work a day in your life? Mm-hmm. That's what photography is for me. Construction is kind of like work, but photography is like a passion. Putting together looks, helping models, expressing myself, being able to really make a difference in people's lives is really important to me. So
when you say make a difference in people's lives, what do you really mean?
Well, like for an example, I may talk to, say, a woman, and she may not be a quote-unquote model. She might just be someone who's, just an everyday woman. And I'm fortunate enough to hear them, and the first thing they say is, oh, well, I'm not a model, and I don't look like the girls on your photos, and things of that nature. But you just never know until we shoot, we get them in, and their confidence, you can just see it growing inside of them, and they get excited. And then once they see the final product, I've even had some people cry, like after they saw the final photos. It's like, wow, I didn't know I could look like that. So it's just really just, it's a art, it's a business, but it's also something to help, because I know that I had such low self-esteem coming up. Honestly, I still probably have low self-esteem.
Wait, all of this, Fabian Butts had low
Yes,
self-esteem?
still do.
What?
Yes. Yeah,
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I grew up depressed. I guess I'm a late bloomer, if anything, but I felt like I was the only person out there for a long time because I had very few friends at an earlier age, and I really had a lot of low self-esteem. So with that being said, that helped me to know my goal is to make people feel good about themselves, if that makes any sense. I love to just make someone smile and make someone feel better about themselves. So that's pretty much what I do and what I try to express in my photography a lot.
And just kind of touching back on the topic you were talking about with self-esteem, what aspects did you feel like, and this is kind of like a candid question, what aspects did you feel like were affecting you that were creating that aspect of not feeling as proud of yourself as you could have when you were, I guess, in your teenage years?
Yeah, teenage years, elementary, middle school, pretty much all of them. Well, I had a few things. Like I said, I'm the oldest everything, the oldest cousin, the oldest child, the oldest everything. So the nearest person's like 5, 6, 7, 8 years younger than me. So I was by myself a lot. So I didn't have a big family with me in school around. So I was isolated a lot. And because I wore literally a size 16 shoe since I was 12 years old, imagine me being this tall wearing a size 16 shoe. I wasn't 6'3" back then. But yeah, so that, and my last name is Butts. So between hearing Fabian Booty, Fabian Butt Cheeks, and all this stuff my whole entire life, it's really had a, I was always the butt literally of every joke coming up. So kids were terrible. But I really thank God for that, though. If I had to go back, I wouldn't change it because it made me a very strong person today. So I'm very strong and confident who I am. There's nothing you can say that I haven't heard already, nothing that you can say to make me feel any less of myself. But it's given me a passion to try to make others feel good.
Wow. That's amazing. That's deep. And, I have to admit, I have my own testimony because I have shot with you a couple times before. And what I did really appreciate is that you are very empathetic and you are very able to connect on a deeper level and really coach a person to bring out their inner confidence and their inner beauty. So hearing you express that gave me a level of, I guess, clarity or a eureka moment to possibly why you're able to have that connection even with a person that doesn't walk in the place ready to feel like they're America's Next Top Model.
Yeah, exactly.
That's remarkable.
Well, thank you so much. I just have a heart for people. It's always been instilled. I think it's a gift that God's given me, is a heart for people and want people to do well. So everything we do, that's our goal, that's our push, that's our brand, that's what we do.
Mm-hmm. So back to that creativity topic.
Mm-hmm.
Your studio. So yes, you said that you can create different sets and different parts of the studio, which brings in your construction side of things.
Yes.
But if you guys follow his Instagram page and see these pictures, you'll notice that a lot of the times in the captions you're writing, and by the way, this was not photoshopped in, a lot of the shots that you take are exotic, and it's like you make the set that way.
Yeah. It depends on the look that we're going for. Like we have a fire series where either the model is surrounded by fire or she's wearing literally fire. And it's real. It's not Photoshop. It's not added in post. It's actually real.
How could she be wearing fire?
Well, I can't tell all my tricks. I can't tell all my secrets, but it's actually real fire. And then we have a pond series where I literally built a pond in the forest in my studio. So it's like whatever it takes to get the shot and the goal. But I think, though, a lot of people misunderstand about creativity or the creative gift is they think it means, okay, this looks good with this. This necklace, which by the way does look perfect with your dress, looks great with your dress. But my creativity just kind of extends more than that. It's a creative way to execute a vision, to have the vision, but then I have the creativity to execute it on a budget, because that's the key thing that we do and we specialize in. People a lot of times think that our shoots or sets or productions might run into tens or twenties of thousands of dollars, and some of them are literally a third of what you would think they would be because of thinking of a creative way to execute.
That is phenomenal. And if you could tell us about how you create your different themes, because you have different shoots or series, different series. Is it just something that kind of hits you and inspires you? And how long do you normally shoot a series for? What's your thought process behind this?
Well, that question, I'm still trying to figure out the answer to that question, because it's like something to get rebirthed. Like we'll do something with sheer, and that's when I was like just getting a whole bunch of different rolls of material, and literally in like 2 minutes I would make a whole outfit out of something, but it would look nice, and then we'd switch it up and switch it up. Then we did a mist series where there's vapors in the air, all colored and lit. So it's really just depends, but a lot of things come back because people see it and be like, oh man, I want to do that. That was so cool. I've seen this or whatever. So that's how, I don't think a series never dies. It's just like that rerun episode, and you come back, you see it again, and it comes back, or they make a remake of it, or of course, as I improve and as we improve, then the skill sets improve. So it's a little better, a little different, but I don't think a series never really dies.
Oh, okay. So, where do you get your inspiration from?
Honestly, everything comes to my mind. Like I'm the type of person where I do not like to mimic or copy anything anyone else does. I hate it with a passion. If you ever hear someone say, Fabian took this idea from me, they are a straight lie, and the truth is not in them. The only way I would shoot something that someone else has done or is known for is if that person's paying me to do it, and I really don't have a choice. But I love being authentic. I love doing my own thing. I love coming up with my own ideas. So I don't like stealing ideas. Like the fire, I've never seen that done the way I shoot it before. The mist, I've never seen that done. The sheer, I've never seen that focus. The pun, I've never seen it done like that. A lot of people go to an expensive location, but it's right here in studio and set. So
In a controlled location.
exactly, which is the most thing. I love working with lighting, and light to me is masterful. I hate well-lit photos, which means if it's perfectly lit, to me it's boring. I love contrast, I love color, I love depth of field, I love shadows. I love doing certain techniques that I've learned over these short years to make my photos look a little different, because I don't want just a static model standing on the psych wall or standing in front of a curtain or sitting on a bench in a hotel or in a bed. That's boring to me. I want to do something that make people be like, wow, how do they do that?
He's going for the wow factor.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, that's understandable. So you have been doing photography for all of this time. You said about 3.5 years, and you have had so many heights in your career. I mentioned earlier that you were featured in Love and Hip Hop, and then also you've been published too, right?
Yes, most definitely. Actually, that happened pretty quickly, surprisingly. I was only shooting for about probably 4 months when I got my first publishing, and I've probably been featured probably 30 times or so in different magazine publications.
Wow. All right, name a few. Folks want to see if they can look it up. Hopefully they can find you. Come on.
Well, I was I was not Love and Hip Hop, sorry. I was in Hip Hop Weekly magazine. Okay. I was featured in Black Men's magazine. I was featured in Bombshell magazine. I was in Billy Blank's magazine. I was in Inspire magazine. I was in Pressure magazine. I was in Bad magazine. I was in there's like 5 or 10 of them that I'm forgetting. I was featured in Indie magazine. I was featured Volo. I was featured with there's so many. I can't even think of all the ones I've been fortunate enough to be in. So
That's when you know you're doing well. You can't even remember all the features that you've had.
Either that or I have a bad memory. Either or.
He's being modest. So, also, tell us a little bit about some of the people that you've shot with, because I know there's folks out there that want to know, he's a celebrity photographer? What kind of celebrities? Who has he shot?
Well, I've been fortunate to have a lot of people that I shot. I've been through the studio. I got to give a big shout out to one of my first celebrities that I shot and worked with, Johnny Blaze. She's like my heart, love her. She's always so supportive, always so nice, so sweet, so talented. Her, I shot with Jessica Dime. I shot with Shay Johnson. Of course, Erica Mena. I've had Boosie in the studio, Scrappy. I've had DC Youngfly. I've had just got a lot of people.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just to name a few.
So is there anyone that you have an eye on that you wish you could shoot with?
Actually, yes, there is someone that I do have a focus that I want to shoot with. Maybe like her, maybe like yes, her, because there's certain thing that I have in mind that I want to do. It's Cardi B.
Ooh.
I would love, of course, I could say Rihanna or Beyonce or something like that. Of course, who wouldn't want to shoot them? They're amazing. But Cardi is just something about her, from watching her live and her Instagram and things of that nature. I just see potential of what I could do to do a lot of things with her. So.
Wow. So is that kind of how you create some of your series? You might think of a particular model and then build your idea around it?
That actually has happened, yes. Yeah. I can definitely say that I've had an idea for a model, something that will work, then we build it, make it work, and then, of course, it gets out, and other people want to execute that too.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah. Okay, that's awesome. So tell us a little bit about the vision that you have for FBstudios. I mean, is it at its optimum level right now, or do you see something more for the brand of FB photography and studios in the future?
Well, I definitely don't think we are where we're going right now. It's just really taking that turn from being a passion to really being a well-oiled machine. So we're setting up people in place, we're driving. Like I say, our heart is to make people feel good about themselves, showing them that you can be sexy in the body that you are. So even though it's a business, it's also kind of like a personal ministry for me as well too, because I really want people to really grasp, and since I have such a strong background in the church, I still like to impact people's lives and give them something that they haven't seen, to blow their minds, to show them just how amazing they can be. So that's a part of the vision. And plus, we have some other things in the fire. This cooking is coming out soon too. So I'm excited about everything.
Okay. Do those have to stay on the hush hush?
If you force it out of me, I might be able to say a little something.
Well, you know, the folks watching, they want to know what to look out for from, and I noticed your logo here says FB Production and More. It's not even just FBstudios.
No, we're just not photographies. We do videography, we do production and sets, we do lights, we do equipment, we do everything. All your visual medias we can handle professionally. And let's just say that people should stay tuned to their televisions, because it's probably not going to be the last time this season that you see me on Love and Hip Hop. So.
Okay, we got to keep it locked on Love and Hip Hop, because there's more. There's possibly more. Possibly.
Yeah, possibly.
That is phenomenal. Now, is there anything that you would want to tell the viewers, possibly about what makes you different, or about your passion behind what it is that you do?
Well, if I had to talk directly to the viewers, I would just say that you're dealing with someone that wants to put themselves in your perspective, and someone who genuinely cares about your well-being. Although I don't know a lot of my clients before we shoot, but I'm looking at it from your perspective of what's going to be the best thing, what's going to make you look amazing, what's going to make you feel the most confident, what's going to make you look the best you can do, and we can do it in a creative way and give you something that the average person doesn't have. And also, like you said earlier, I think you said about coaching while I shoot. I always give a lot of tips and a lot of tidbits because this could be a very harsh industry if you're not prepared. There's a lot of stories and a lot of things and a lot of people and things that we hear that are scary. And I just want people to know that they can feel comfortable. And I always try to give models tips of things of what they should do when looking for a photographer and trying to find a photographer, how to research a photographer. I always try to help and educate because there's predators out here too.
And that's actually something that, as a possibly a new model in the industry, or someone who has aspirations to become an actress or a model, and even as doing something like a nude shoot, that's something that is taboo, and a lot of women might be concerned or scared about. So it was interesting how you just talked about a level of trust, a level of education, and a level of professionalism to be expected from FB Productions.
Yeah, definitely. We try to set an extra high standard. One of the few tips that I always tell a model is make sure that you research a photographer and go back and look at some of the models that he shot with. DM them if it's on Instagram and hit them up and be like, hey, how are you? I hope everything's well. I'm just thinking about shooting with whatever photography. I just want to get some tidbits on your experience. How are they to you? And that way you can kind of get a feel to see what an honest person's rapport is, because there's a lot of people with nice cars, nice money, and things of that nature, and they try to lure you and entrap you or make you feel belittled, like you don't know what you don't know, and they're just oh so much smarter than you. But you have to know that where you're comfortable at and what things you're comfortable doing. And I look at the body as art. I look at it as, in my philosophy, as a woman is a beautiful gift from God that deserves to be put on a pedestal. So therefore, I think there's nothing that a woman can wear that is beautiful than what God has already gave her naturally. So that's why a lot of my work does be revealing, but at the same time, it's very tasteful, very artful. I don't do the bend over and look at my behind photography as some do, which I'm not knocking it, but that's just not my style.
That's reassuring to hear. Well, that is awesome. I really think that you have done a great job establishing your brand, establishing FB Studios, and you have so much more ahead of you. So really, your viewers need to make sure that they follow your Instagram page, FB Studios.
Yep, that's it.
That's it.
The Instagram is FB Studios. If they want to book or see our pricing or our packaging, they can visit us on the web at www.fbstudios.net. Not .com, .net. And that's pretty much it.
Phenomenal. Well, thank you, Fabian
Thank you,
Buzz,
thank you,
celebrity
thank you.
photographer right here in the illustrious city of Atlanta, Georgia. And thanks for joining us here, guys. Once again, this is your girl, Cherrie Garden. Keep it locked.